everyone, it's Michelle, and welcome to the September edition of Tea with Me. This morning I am filming first thing in the morning, so I have my mug rather than my teacup, and I have it full of English breakfast tea. Nothing special, but definitely I'm trying to get a little caffeine going. So today, because I was so late in my August video, I kind of covered a lot of area. So I thought this episode, I'd really only cover a couple things. First thing, I'd cover flea market finds. And then I'll also show you how my market basket journals ended up turning out. So first, let me start by saying welcome to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate you being here and taking the time to watch. There's a ton of channels that you can pick, and spending time with me, it's really such a, I'm just so appreciative of any time anybody takes to find my channel and spend time here. So thank you for that. And to my existing subscribers, thank you for supporting me. It really means more to me than you'll ever know. I'll try to be articulate this morning, but I am not a morning person. It takes me a while to get my mojo going, but we'll see how it goes. So starting in October, my business partner Diane and I are going to start with our business, get our business live, and I think we're going to divide it into a few different areas. We're going to have some basic journals and notebooks that people can buy that we'll put together. But then a lot of our business will be supplies for you all. So I'm trying to augment what I already have by going to flea markets and finding some really interesting things that I can share. I think we all have different things in our parts of the world, and I'm going to show you the things I have been finding. I will let you know if this stuff will be things that will be available or things I'm keeping in my personal collection. 90% of everything I'll show you is going to be available. It'll be trickling out though, so if there's something that you specifically have an interest in, please private message me so I know to release that right away. And if I have a lot of it, I'm happy to do a pre-order with you. So let's start first with a little bit about flea marketing. Now, I think there's flea markets all over the world, and I think the principles are probably the same. There's always a starting price, and then depending on how much you buy, you can sometimes negotiate price. So I try to explain to the person I'm buying that this stuff is for supply only, so I'm not looking to collect. And if it's very valuable, to let me know, because not that I won't put some valuable things in my shop, but generally we want to feel comfortable that what we're cutting up isn't valuable. So everything I'll show you, I'll let you know if I found out whether there's worth to it or not. That might make a difference to you as well too. So I'm going to move my pile so that you can see I have a lot to show you. Ooh. I'm going to start first with some basic things. So when I go to flea markets, generally I'm looking for old books with beautiful covers. I'm looking for textiles that I don't have already, and just things that are really new and unique. I want to get supplies that I know you all are looking for, but I'm also looking for things that maybe you haven't seen as well. So let's start with the basics. I have been buying a lot of textiles, but I'm trying to look for things that I think will do really well inside books. So I found these, and I'm not 100% sure what they are. I mean, they might be doilies for your counter or for your bureau, but they're very small. They're and the shape is not typical of what I had been seeing. So I thought they'd be really beautiful pages. I mean, they fold perfectly as a journal page, or if you put them as a journal cover on top of a book. Let's say something, if somehow you adhered it to a book. So I found all of these yesterday, and I thought they're machine stitched. They're not hand stitched, but what I was drawn to was just the colors, the patterns, but in the shape. I really think the shape is just really so good for journaling. So there, I have like really pretty, like look at the little daisies. I thought these were really cute. So I think I bought almost all of the ones that were not stained. And they're soft colors, they're pretty colors. I think there might be only a couple that are of this green. But I thought these were pretty neat. And then I found some that were, you know, just lace cornered, which also were neat. But then when I dug deeper, I found this antique handwork. Now, what I had just showed you was machine done, but this, I believe, is hand done. It is so fine, and it is so pretty. And look at the size of it. It's just perfect, and the color is beautiful. So I had only a couple of those. Then this is a runner for like the top of a bureau, but it's just such a delicate pattern. The color is really nice, and there's quite a bit of it because it's a runner. So I might cut this up. I'm not sure what you guys think. I might cut it up into strips or sections to sell, or I could sell the whole thing at once. I'm not sure. Then another really beautiful piece. My husband's on a business call. I really hope that we can't hear it because that'll really be a bummer. Okay, so look at this beautiful, again, just a gorgeous piece of lace, very large. This is a small piece, but very detailed. Look at that. So I'm really looking for lace that's a little bit better than what we can get in the store, and definitely antique, and definitely something that allows us to either use the whole piece or cut the piece up. That's not a very big piece, so I would sell that in its own. Then there were these square pieces. Now, first of all, each one of these squares could be removed, but then as you get closer, you see that there's a second color. There's a second color in the lace. It's very subtle, but it's really interesting and really pretty. So there's this one that has the yellow, and I think you can kind of see the yellow there. I believe this one also has a yellow, and it's a really beautiful piece. And this one has a yellow. I thought I had one with a different color, but maybe I don't. So I have these three beautiful pieces with the yellow. Oh, and then I have, again, some more hand-done lace, or what I believe is hand-done lace. And, you know, I can picture this on a cover over something else or inside of a journal. It's just beautiful. I have a couple of those. And then I have, I believe this is tatting, some doilies that are all hand knotted. So I believe that's tatting, but I could be wrong. Isn't that beautiful? So that's the linens I found yesterday. Oh, and I did find one doily that I don't think is that different, but what I liked about it is these little individual violets, which I could always snip off. Okay, that was my laces. So now I'm going to show you something I thought was really unique and cool. So we all love vintage greeting cards, and this is from the salesperson that went to the stores to sell the greeting cards. So this was from a Massachusetts company called the Phillips Card Company out of Boston, Mass, on Beacon Street. So it was actually in the city. And inside you have all of the cards that the store could order. And they're definitely, I would say, mid-century Oh, this one is torn. I think that's the only, I think most of the kits I got were complete though. And they have embossed names in them. They're not real names, so in other words, these were never sent. But they were trying to show that you could get them personalized. And there's no date on them, but like I said, I'm gonna guess they're about mid-century. So some of them are really cute. Like, look at that. That's not your typical Christmas greeting. And like, look at this one. Really adorable. So I have these Christmas card sales brochures. I have 1, 2. This one is incomplete too. Look at the little lamb. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. Let's look at this one. 50. These little Scotty dogs were very popular. I want to say this is maybe the 50s. I do believe this is mid-century because I do see a lot of this imagery. And all the cards inside also have imagery, which is really sweet. The coloring is beautiful. So these sales brochures I thought were really interesting because now you could use the cards, you could use the actual sales brochure piece in your journal. This is card, so it would be interesting to see how someone would use this. But it's definitely, I don't think I'm going to take these apart. I'll sell them as is, and I have 6 of them. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Then I saw these, and this was pretty funny. So I saw these on the table, and I asked the gentleman what they look like inside, and none of them had ever been opened. So I said, well, I can't really buy them if I haven't seen them open. And he said, well, are you going to buy the one that's open? And I said, well, I don't know. And we kind of went round and around. Finally, he conceded and said he would open one. I told him, somebody's going to want to buy it, so you're going to need to open them. This was a cake decorating kit. So this was for the top of your cake. You have this little vellum envelope, and inside are these plastic toothpicks that would attach these really cute punch out shapes and decorations for the top of your birthday cake. I really love the carnival feel of them, the coloring, that antique Christmassy, the vintage Christmassy vibe to it. This comes from Valley Stream, New York, and it's a male creation. I'm not sure if it has a date on it, but again, attach plastic pegs of animals with red e-stick labels enclosed. Oh, that must be the little labels right here. Okay, so that shows you, how they used to do it. So I just thought this was really cute. I thought even this packaging is cute for a pocket or to cut up. There's, us junk journalers, we can use every little bit of this. So I ended up getting, this one's opened, but then I ended up getting 4 more that have never been opened. So they're in perfect condition. And they were 29 cents. I didn't pay 29 cents for them, but they were 29 cents when they were sold. So I thought those were cute and different. Okay, so then I found a bunch of tea cards. Now, I didn't think there were tea cards in the United States. I knew there were caramel cards and cigarette cards, but it turns out these are actually from Canada, I believe. These are Brook Bond Canada Limited. So I believe these are tea coffee cards from Montreal. And this entire set, well, there's a lot of duplicates, is all trees and pine cones. There's a lot here. I think I'm gonna split some of these up into different sets that can be bought alone, and then also I'll include some of the duplicates in like journal kits. So I was pretty excited to find these. Okay, I will stack those later. Speaking of cards, I do look for interesting playing cards, and I found these really nice Marilyn Monroe cards, which if you're doing an old Hollywood journal, I do have some really great old Hollywood ephemera as well. So I liked the fact that, so the aces are the only ones in color, which I think is really cool. And they're beautiful pictures of Marilyn. And then the kings are all different. And the queens are all different. And the jacks are all different. This is, oh, and I think we're missing one jack, but doesn't matter, I'm breaking up the set anyway. And then the rest of the cards are all the same. Oh, there's the jack. So we have a full set. And the rest of the cards are all the same. There's this really great pin-up shot of Maryland. So really cool cards. The back is her signature. I really like these, and I thought these would be super fun for a pinup journal or a Hollywood journal. I really like them, and the guy gave me a fair deal on them, so I think I can split them up. Okay, so the next thing I have to show you, and I really want to know this because I do see them a lot, and I don't want to invest in them if they're not something people are interested in. But player piano rolls. I try to look for rolls that the box is intact and that the grommet on the end is intact. And if they have words on them, I mean, there's always like a little printing here, but some of them actually have the words to the songs printed on them. And the paper, usually in fairly good condition, but it's, once you get into it, you're going to see it has the little holes. So are you guys interested in this? Like, what do you guys feel about player piano paper? Is this something you'd work with? This is something you just would like to have? Some of the boxes are neat, especially the QRS, and it will, you know, talk about what the song is. 1942 is this one. Let me see what other ages I have. Let's see if I can figure this out. Doesn't have an age on this one. This one doesn't have a label. Yeah, it's funny how the other one had an age, but these don't. A pretty girl is like a melody. Yes, she is. So I just got 4 because I really didn't know what people's interests were. But let me know if there is an interest, because if that gentleman returns, he will sell me his whole supply. Okay. So moving on, I am moving on to some of the more interesting things, I think. I've been looking for some interesting items to ship stamps and ephemera in. And I'd love to buy some tins, but they're all so expensive. And if the tins cost $3 to $5 a piece before I even put ephemera in, then that makes it a little bit too expensive for the average person. So I was trying to find things that were a little less expensive. So I thought I would go with match boxes. So I bought an entire lot of match boxes from this gentleman, thinking that this would be very inexpensive. And then when I went online, I noticed that these match boxes were all being sold for between $4 and $7 a piece, which kind of defeats the purpose of selling something cheap. However, I still may decide to ship my stamps inside these little vintage match boxes that are from Sweden from 1955. I don't believe I can ship the matches. I think that that's against post office policy because it's flammable. But I have all of these great little boxes from Vulcan with the box as well. In the 50s, it was a gift to give someone matchboxes for as a gift. So look at this, like the card is on top, and then inside are all these little sweet matchboxes. And this one I love. Look, it's this really nice, like silver, shiny, almost like a tin, a very thin tin. I know it's probably cardboard, but it feels like tin. It's marked with a 1955, and it's Leeds and Wallace out of Italy. So I thought, what a great little gift that this person got. Obviously, they thought it was a great gift because they never used any of them. So I have that one. And then I have these, which I think the graphics are just phenomenal. And they're from Mexico, and some of them have been opened. But then there's some that haven't. Like this one has never even been opened before. I love that coloring on there. And then I have to find the one. Look at this. It has this little piece of cotton, that helps you pull it out. I think that the imaging is terrific. So I think I might have to take the matches out. But what do you guys think of these boxes? How would you feel if ephemera came in them? Would you just want them as is? I'd love feedback on that. And then look at this set. This is a gift set as well. And when you open it, this person had used a couple. Let's see here. This one's silver. And look at isn't this sweet? Really nice. And I love the vintage flowers on them. So there's gold and silver. I think there was another two that went here. But we're missing that. So I love these. I thought those were great. And then I have some just miscellaneous ones with people's names on them and things like that. And that's fine. These I would not feel bad about, They're great to decorate, and these are probably all like from the 80s and 90s, would be my guess. But then I found these, and these are phenomenal. I thought they were little books at first. I didn't know what I was looking at. They are matchbox cases. That's how much matches were valued back then. There weren't lighters. People would carry these beautiful little cases. And look at this look at this matchbox. Isn't that adorable? And then this is sort of like leather on top of cardstock or something. It's very, very hard. It's super durable. And then this is a little painted porcelain piece. And this came in a set of 2 and had never been unwrapped. I unwrapped it yesterday. They each come with their little matches. I just thought these were really cool. And all I could picture was us putting vintage stamps in them on our desks, or little treasures, charms or something. This is just sweet. And I also have a vintage match case that was brass. It was Leeds. And you would just take the matchbox, slip it in like that. How cool is that? So I think I'll probably be selling each one of these matchbox. I might keep one of these for myself, but I'm probably going to sell these 2 outright. And then this, which has never been opened, check these out. These beautiful, gorgeous matches. And again, you just turn this. I love the olive green, but again, I don't think I can bring this in the mail. But I can definitely empty it and sell the box. Put some ephemera in there. I don't want to. There it is. So there's all these paintings on the outside, these famous paintings. And this is Botticelli's. Details from Botticelli's masterpieces in Florence. And these are Italian matches. So matches, and I ended up getting a whole tin of books as well, but I'm not going to show you those because they're pretty standard. There's a few interesting ones in there, but they'll probably just be used in ephemera sets that I sent out for books. And I'm going to try to see if I can find some kind of cool craft that I can do with that. So I have all these really great matchboxes. Okay, moving on to books, and that'll be our last section for today for Flea Market Finds. I'm going to take this out for now. So this right here I really loved. I'm not going to spend too much on books, but the reason I liked this book is because it taught handwriting with the regular writing, and the pictures are just beautiful. So I'll either sell this book outright, it's in phenomenal shape, or I'll cut it up. I haven't decided. This is $18.96, so I might sell it outright to somebody rather than destroying it. Now I think I'm having a hard time deciding if I'm going to save this for myself or not. This guidebook of London is falling apart, but it's beautiful, and it's all the places that we went to on our trip this year, and the maps and images are gorgeous. I love the size, I love the shape. Look at that map. Terrific. And, you know, it's just a great little book, and then in the end, it's all these beautiful colored plates with of London. So I'm not sure. I might have to hoard this for a little while before I decide if I am going to part with it, because I just really love it. Okay, I'm so excited about this. This number one is a great inspiration for a travel book. That's my first comment. The second comment is I believe we will scan some of the contents of this book and make it into a digital kit because it's too special not to. But other than that, I believe we'll probably sell this outright, even though it is such a unique piece that I'll have a hard time letting it go. So this is a travel book that you used when you took a cruise across the ocean. So it's sort of this leather book. It's embossed here, and my trip abroad, because again you're going across the ocean. There's a little pen right here that fits in, but then there's this little compass. How sweet is this compass? I just think that's adorable. Okay, so then you open it, and inside there are the most gorgeous graphics for you to decipher what different cruise lines you're seeing based on their funnels. And I believe this was the Atlantic line that this person was doing. So this was sort of like to help you interpret different boats that you saw. And I can't really, there's like, it's actually gold printing. There's like gold metallic printing. This feels like a high linen content. It's really soft. The colors are phenomenal. So I think I'm going to scan these and use these as a digital kit for people, because anybody who's doing a travel book, this would be just a great addition. So we have flags. We have national flags that all have cruise lines. And then in here, the inscription. This person was on the Atlantic Hansporth SS Minnetonka on June 1st, 1912. And these were the people that she was sailing with. And then this is the boat, or this is the book. How awesome is that? So people were traveling abroad on these cruise lines and buying these cruise books, and they had all of these things here so that they could, decipher what they were seeing. Then, then they have these beautiful prints, weather, latitude and longitude, and just the printing is lovely. value of foreign coins, mail, time and distances, difference in time, method of keeping time aboard a ship, velocity of sound, and then how to play shuffleboard. I just love this. And then signals you'd see at night. And then there's a section that was ripped out. This must be where she wrote her personal notes. I wish it was still in there, but it's not. And then it's the part of the travel journal where you write in the places and the dates. And the rest of the book is completely blank. And then you go to the address section. And this is where you put addresses in so you could write to people when you were gone. And that is blank as well. And then there's this, the most delicate piece of parchment, and it's a fold-out map. And I'm not going to be able to get the whole thing on screen, and I don't really want to try to unfold it and fold it back up and then wrinkle it. But if you can see, look at it, it's so delicate. It has some very light ripping where the folds are. I'm just going to bring this one piece up. It's just beautiful, and it's this crinkly old paper. And if you think about it, this is 1912. This travel book is over 100 years old. I mean, it's amazing. It's really amazing. It's clean. It's almost complete other than the ripped out pages. The spine needs some work. And inside, there needs a little bit of work here if you were going to rehab it. But it is just a priceless little item. And this will be in a special section of my shop where we have rare books and special items. And that will be for sale, I believe, this fall. And I just love it. I just love it. And like I said, we'll be making a digital kit based off of this as well, but we'll sell the original. But for those of you who would like to use some of the artwork in here, I'll have a digital set so that you can make your own travel book based on this book. So that's very exciting to me. Okay, I have a couple more things. I have a field guide to a 1940s Peterson field guide. We've all seen these, not too special, but I do find these from time to time. I like this one because it has the measurements on it and it's in phenomenal shape. But here we go. Here are two of my special things. I have probably the smallest Bible I have ever seen, and the biggest Bible I've ever seen. Now, I'm not one to usually buy Bibles, only because I have a hard time thinking about cutting them up, and that's what I do, and I just don't want to start collecting Bibles. But when I found this little guy, I just couldn't help it. It is the most beautiful little Bible. I loved how it felt in my hand. This binding is so tight. There's, that was the seller's name. There are just a beautiful patina to the pages. And I think I'm going to keep this for my personal collection because it is just so beautiful, and I just love how it feels. And I think I'm going to use it sort of as a template for this size journal because I just really love it and how it feels in my hand. But it really is such a special little journal, and look at this. Look at that, just the plates on it. 1828. Well, actually, I don't think this is the first printing, but, well, it could be. 1828. Just amazing. I just love this little book. So I said, okay, I'm going to buy this Bible, but I'm not really a Bible person as far as collecting them, so I'm probably this will be the only Bible I get. And then this week, I go to the flea market, and I see this bad boy. You can't even see it because it's so big. look at the latch on this. And look how thick it is. Can you see and hear that? It is unbelievable. It's all gilded. This is a family Bible. So this is like one of those Bibles that people would invest in, and then they would hand it off for generations. It's seen better days. The cover is off, as you can see. It weighs, I have to weigh this. I'm going to have to weigh it. I'm going to guess it weighs 10 to 15 pounds. That's how big it is. The spine is incredible. I wish I could. The latches. I don't want to ruin the latch. I can't even show you the spine and get it under the camera, but maybe you can see it. It's just gorgeous. And like I said, it needs some work. It's not in the best of shape. And maybe that means it's okay to cut it up, because when you see the inside, oh, I really need this. I wish I could make the camera higher so you could see the whole thing. But first of all, the plates are gorgeous. The paper is white, but it has nice little edge patina on it. I can barely move it, it's so big. Has these very delicate fly papers on it. And it says the superfine edition of the Holy Bible, containing the Old and New Testaments, translated out of the original tongues, and with the former translations diligently compared and revised. And this is dated Philadelphia, William Harding Company, 1866. And inside there is, the writing is just gorgeous. It's this, the way that it's divided, and the little notations in the middle, and these age spots, which just give it such character. The pages are lightly yellowed, but they're really in great shape, and the fonts are beautiful. And then they have these plates that are stunning. And then if you go, there's like a bookmark. If you go to the center, this is why it's a, it's a family Bible. I have to do a little bit of work. I don't know if this is the family member or not, but you have all the marriages, and we're starting in 1870. And I didn't show you, but there's an inscription that this was a Christmas gift from the husband to the wife. Let's see if I can find the date. Oh, it might be on the, I think it's on the, hold on. It might be on this cover, the original cover that's off. Yes, here it is. Rosa W. Walters, Christmas 1873, from her husband. And her name was Rosa, and inside on this bookmark, it says Rosa. And there's this little needlepoint bookmark. And then it also has all of the deaths as well. So, I'm not quite sure why she's not listed, and it seems like the last person they listed was 1912. So I'm not 100% sure what happened with this Bible and why it was not passed on. But it is just this big latch and this gorgeous thick cover with the embossing and the hardware. It's just, it's beautiful. So, and then I have a bunch of little doohickey things, like a teeny tiny golden book and some Christmas matches and a couple gorgeous little inserts that I'm going to scan. But those are my flea market finds for this weekend. And it's very typical of what we're seeing on a weekly basis. There are always new vendors. So if there's something specific you're looking for, please let me know. Everything I showed you today, with the exception of the London book, which I'm unsure about, and the Tiny Bible will be up for sale in our shop. Staggered, so I'm not sure how quickly it will go up, but if there's things you're interested in, let us know. So now I'm going to clear everything away, and I'll come back quickly to finish up just with my journals that I made. Okay, I'm back, and I'll try to make this pretty quickly. So first of all, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who has been so encouraging to me. I tend to be someone who really, when I get an idea, I have to explore it right away or I'm going to forget it. And I just really love looking at things that aren't meant to be used one way and using them another, especially when I know it's going to keep them out of a landfill and I can upcycle something. So when I had this idea, I really wasn't sure whether it'd be anything anybody was interested in. So all of your encouraging comments and support on this has been just wonderful. Thank you for continuing to encourage me to think out of the box. So I'm just going to show you quickly. You saw this one. I'm going to move that aside. And I'm very close to 1,000 followers on my Instagram page, so I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon. I'm considering maybe using these for the giveaway, so if you like them, let me know if this would be something that would be good for the giveaway. So this was the little cat one. I ended up doing a little twine closure on this. And this is just a little tiny journal, kind of more like a little journal for your purse that you could swap out the little journal inside. I put it on 2 elastics that are right here. I think I'm going to put a little charm on it. I haven't quite finished these. And basically inside is just a little journal that I use little fall papers. Did some stamping, has some washi. I used some of my favorite little Halloween images from a children's book that I just think are so cute. Little tuck spots and coffee dyed paper and vintage papers. I mean, I just think that's sweet. And did some stamping, some mushrooms, and some coffee dyed paper. And of course I had to include a cat because there are cats on here. And, you know, there's like little pockets here. And some stamping. So I think I might use this for a giveaway. I have an envelope. I'll stuff it with some ephemera. But I really liked how this one came out because I really love the little pocket here. It's very sturdy, it's small, and it fits in a purse. And honestly, when I saw these shopping bags, I think I told you that the animal artwork didn't really appeal to me because it really wasn't my aesthetic. I was really going for these guys. But I love it. I think it has such personality, and it reminds me a lot of like oilcloth, if you know what that is. It just, you know, feels very sturdy and like a great little thing to toss in your bag. Then I have this one. This is taller, and I have some sari silk that I attached with a grommet. And this one, I just lined it with a cloth, kind of a felt, and sewed that on. And it's just a little travel notebook for your purse or bag. I included an old library pocket from an old book. And there's a flip. This one's a little bit more like eclectic, just with papers and ledger papers. A little bit more, you know, junk journalish like we usually see. There's, you know, pockets throughout and old papers and tea-dyed papers, and, you know, I have a little pie here and vellum with a quote. So just a little traveler's notebook full of little flip outs and things like that. So that's this one, and I kind of had cut it so that the fall word was the decoration on the front, and it's kind of tatty, and it has like, my sewing is purposely a little, you know, not straight on purpose, just sort of a little very loose and organic. And then this one, now keep in mind, these all three were made from one side of the bag. I still have the other entire side of the bag to use. And then this one is a little bit bigger. This is a chunky one. I haven't quite finished it, but I'm almost done. It's got metal corners in like this ribbon I wrapped around. I have to figure out what I want to do for the closure. It might just be a elastic, but this is chunky. This is, well, I guess it's kind of like a hollow back spine because I didn't, yeah, no, not really. It's just, the spine is glued inside, and it's 5 signatures and lots of papers and stamping and flip outs and vintage papers and mushroom papers and envelopes that flip out and Edith Holden and washi tape. And it's like a little, it's again that same felted inside instead of paper. And I don't even know how many pages it is. It's small but chunky, fits in your hand. And I have to finish this plate off and put words in it and put 2 little pieces of some kind of hardware there. But it's pretty close to done. So I have these 3 that I made out of that bag, and I'm pleased with the result. And then this one that you saw already, which is just your standard, more junk journal-y kind of thing with Edith Holden and vintage papers. So I may be using these for my giveaway if you guys are interested. So that's it. Tea and me for September. Just a couple things, but hopefully you enjoyed seeing the things that I can find around me, and I'm getting super excited. I hope you're not getting sick of me talking about the store, but I'm getting super excited about what we have to offer. So I hope you'll follow me on Instagram, continue to check in here on YouTube, and I appreciate all the time you spend hanging out with me. I'll see you in October. Enjoy the fall, everyone. Bye.